Hello, I'm Catherine Monso of NashvilleSteals.com, ShabbyLaneShops.com, and ShabbyLaneShoppingEvents.com. I'm thrilled and honored to have the opportunity to speak today. Just want to tell you a little bit about my experiences because I hope that those will encourage you. And my theme is kind of, if I can do this, anyone can. If you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be publishing a newsstand magazine, that I would be hosting a small business conference, that I would have several businesses, one which is appearing on a monthly TV segment on Better Nashville, gosh, and having a fabulous online shopping mall and having the opportunity to work with wonderful vendors at our shopping events, I would have never believed you. I also never would have believed that I would become a mother at 40, but I did. And being a mother changes you. I sat at home with my baby on maternity leave, trying to decide how could I work from home with my child. And couldn't figure that out. And I, after a few months, decided I was going to start my online boutique. And I was going to start selling products. I buy them wholesale, resell them online, and it was going to be great. And I did that, bought a web design, got my website started, and nothing happened. I just sat there and realized that I had to get some advertising going. Advertising was very expensive, and how could I do this? I knew some other online businesses, and we got together and we made an online shopping mall where we basically did a co-op advertising. We weren't the first shopping mall, but we are one of the very successful ones. We advertise in national magazines to bring shoppers to our website, ShabbyLaneShops.com, and when you click on each little shop, it takes you to each individual shop's website. That took off and was very successful, and we wanted to do something different. We wanted to, and I'm going to say I don't say I very often, but I'm going to say I because I did it as a secret. We created a magazine, the shop owners wrote the articles, and we printed it, and it was great. Everyone loved it. We sold it online, and then this is the I part. I secretly went to Barnes & Noble and went to a distributor and showed them the magazine, and they loved it. They suggested a couple of changes, which I did in secret with the next issue, and presented it to them. They loved it, and it has been on the newsstand for 2.5 years. We're really proud of this magazine, and I say we because I could not do it without all of our contributors. We have fabulous articles, and I share this with you because I was in the medical field, and I had never had any idea on how to write an article, much less publish a magazine, but I had decided I was going to do it to help my clients who were helping me be able to work from home. So it was a learning experience. There were lots of people that helped me along the way and gave me advice, and was a very successful business. We continue to grow. We did our first small business conference in April of this year, and we had so many great speakers. I like to share it because I'm so proud of the speakers that we had. Lots of great, you're going to recognize some of these ladies. Had some great sponsors, and let's see, you might recognize a few there. But it was a great conference, and then we started doing vendor shows. We've had some fabulous vendor shows, and I say we because couldn't do it without my friends. I've got at least 100 new friends in the last year who helped me put these shows on. Couldn't do it without the vendors. They're fabulous. That's a Christmas one we did last year, and our Mother's Day at the factory. And again, I share this with you because I had no experience at this, but I had a desire to work from home, and if I can do this, you can too. You've got to believe in what you want to do. You need to know what you want to do, and you need to do it for the right reasons. You're going to need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if it's all for the money and all for you, it's not the right reason. You're going to have someone in business with you that you can help. I have my clients that I help get affordable advertising, that most small businesses cannot afford advertising on their own. I'm one of those. So I try to help them get affordable advertising, get into booths, affordable booths at my vendor shows, get into places like Cold Springs Galleria Mall affordably. So I'm helping people. And you can do the same, because if you've got a business, you have a client that you can help. And instead of just doing it for the money, do it just to provide them excellent customer service. Another thing that I like to share is how do you stand out in a crowd? And I don't want to say how do you stand out in your against your competition, because I don't like to talk about competition. I think we can all complement each other. There are other show promoters that I am happy to work with, love working with them, and we complement each other. I don't ever look at competition, so I don't want to say how do you stand out above your competition, but how do you stand out in a crowd? And one of those ways could be over-the-top customer service. I think we've all been in situations where we've had bad customer service, and unfortunately that has been more times than good customer service. I can go to a restaurant and I can remember the bad situations more than the good, unfortunately. But when you do create a good customer experience, I have small children. If I go into a shop, if you have a brick and mortar shop and you have a small little play area, even if it's a table with puzzles or games, that creates a good experience for me and allows me to shop in your shop longer. Catering to moms who have children, I did not understand this a few years ago, but I do understand it now. I'm having two now, and been able to stay home with them for about 6 years. It's been great. So over-the-top customer service is something that you can provide, and that helps your client. I love when I order something through the mail or online, I get a nice little gift. It may not be worth much, but it was the thought that they thought to put a free gift in my my package. I've ordered before from Grace Adele and Vera Bradley, and the packaging made me feel high class. Not that I am, but it made me feel good to open that package. You want your clients to feel that way when they open their package. And when I open a box and I'm expecting that product that I bought and it's wrapped in newspaper, please don't do that. I won't shop from you again if you wrap my product in newspaper, and I would hope that everyone listening here knows not to do that. But packaging your product up with tissue paper, Nashville Wraps, we love them. They were actually one of our sponsors of our conference. They've got very affordable packaging for everyone. Brick and mortar shops, online shops, they can fix you up very affordably, and you don't have to use that newspaper. One of the ways that we try to stand out in a crowd, we are a small business. We are also vendors. We know what it's like to be a small business, and so we actually go the extra mile. We bring our vendors' products on TV for a shopper's preview before our shows. We also advertise in print newspaper and commercials to try to bring as many shoppers as we can to our clients for our vendor shows. One of the other things I like to stress is working from home or working at your own business, whether it's a brick and mortar store or it's your direct sale business, you do have to work hard. I tell the story, I actually signed up with a direct sale company years ago, still trying to find out how I was going to work from home, and put it online and just expected it to sell because I didn't have time to do the parties that it required, and I wanted to make that six-figure income that my director was making. And I say this, and it's really a joke. It is true, but I say it jokingly that I got fired because I didn't put forth the effort. I didn't meet the sales quota, and I wasn't able to stay as a rep. So you've got to work hard, whether it's your own business, your online business. You know, there's a lot of hard work involved. It's not going to be easy. Working from home is much harder than working for a business in the corporate world. I can tell you that. You, you think we sit home in our pajamas every day and casually work. You know, it's hard work. To be successful, you have to work hard. And I have a huge amount of respect for direct sale companies, which I did not have necessarily a few years ago, because I had some that were kind of aggressive with me in the past, trying to sell me things. But they're not all that way. There are a lot of great direct sell companies out there, and vendors that are associated with them. Got a lot of great friends that are in direct sales, and the other thing that you can do to help benefit yourself as a business owner, whether you're in direct sales or working from home or even a brick and mortar shop, is to get out there and network. There are a lot of great networking groups. I'm happy to tell you about many of them in Nashville. I actually host a couple myself, and I host evening networking groups. There are a lot of morning ones that I couldn't attend because of my children, trying to get them back and forth to school and summertime, and you know, the meetings were during my commute. So I went to one that was in the evening in Brentwood, a networking group. It was fabulous. And then I realized we had such a need for that. I had over 100 vendors that wanted to get together and meet each other. And we have two successful ones. We meet in Smyrna and then in Cool Springs, and we have a great time. And part of our networking is just getting to know each other. I always say at my meetings that vendors are also clients. We're all consumers. We buy makeup. We buy, you know, we need the products that these companies sell. So we're all consumers. So vendors can actually be clients. When you're at a vendor show, your neighbor who is a vendor may end up being your next client. So remember that at your vendor shows, and network at your shows. Attend networking groups where you can meet lots of great ladies. Like I said, I've got 100 new friends that I didn't have 2 years ago, just by networking and working with these vendors. Just a great a group of people. So get out there and you know, get to know each other. And I want to encourage you. There are many who struggle because working for yourself you know, working period is hard, but working for yourself can be a bit of a struggle sometimes. And I just want to encourage you. I actually went to a Dave Ramsey conference, EntreLeadership, and it was a great conference. And in the beginning of it, he said, there are going to be a handful of you here that are holding on basically to the last string. This is your last hope of your business surviving. And then the whole day passed, and he brought the subject up again, and he was closing, and he said to those businesses that this is your last hope. You're here to find a solution. You need to ask yourself, and this is kind of my thing too, if you're in it just for the money, quit right now. But if you absolutely, and I'm getting chills saying this, if you absolutely love what you do and your heart is in it, never give up. And he actually quoted Winston Churchill, and he was very loud, and he stomped his feet. It was very dramatic and very profound to me as a struggling business, and it was never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. And it brought tears to my eyes because I do love my business. We all struggle. Sometimes you have to maybe make a change in your business. Let your business take a little bit of a different direction, which is what we did last year with the Small Business Conference and our vendor shows, where we're reaching out to the local community. As my online shopping mall and magazine is nationwide. We have shops that are in New York, California, Arizona, Florida. We have shops all over, but we are reaching out more to the local community and just having a great time and expanding our business. So I just want to encourage you that if you don't know what to do with your business and you're looking for answers, look to why you're doing your business. And if you love it and it's your heart, like mine, maybe look at where you might need to make some change in directions. You can still do what you're currently doing, but maybe add something to it. If you're in a direct sell company that maybe not taking you where you want to be, if you're putting your heart into it, and there's other direct sell companies that you work with at different vendor shows and different events that might be a better opportunity for you. So look for some other opportunities. And I just want to encourage you because number one, if you are a small business today, you are very successful. You have to define your success, and success is not always money, although we need to pay the bills. But being successful is doing what you want to do and what you love, and you can define your success. And I do have a saying, and I like to talk about being positive. Expect great things every day and be surprised when something great doesn't happen. I mean, expect the great every day. And if you go into your day with a positive attitude, something is going to go right. Good things are going to happen. And then you need to celebrate when those things do happen. It may not be the big thing you were expecting or wanting, but something great did happen that day, and you can define your great. Define your great in your day. My great is my children every day. I get to work with my children, which can be very challenging, but it's what I want to do, and I'm able to help other people and work from home with my children and be able to get them to the schools that they need to go to, because if I worked in the corporate world, I could not get my children to the schools that we send them to, because I do have to drive quite a bit to get them to two different schools for the schools that are best for them. So I am just thrilled and honored to have had this opportunity to speak, and I hope that one day I can meet you in person. If you ever see me at a vendor show, tell me hello. I'd love to meet you. I actually went to another vendor show, and I had people come up and say, "Oh, hi, you're Catherine of Shabby Lane Shops," and I just feel bad that I didn't know who they were, but I was so happy to meet them. And one of the conferences that I went to a year ago, Spark and Hustle, Tori Johnson of Good Morning America, she has a conference that she does, and my doorbell just rang. I'm sorry. My children are at the pool, so I could do this, record this, and then the UPS man just rang my doorbell. Sorry about that. But one of the things that I took away from that conference, and I took away a lot, was to be active on Facebook. I have 2 small children. I do not have time. I made the time, and my vendor shows, 95% of my vendors at my first show last year, over 70 vendors, 95% of them heard of me from Facebook. And I just, got out there, and the word spread about our conference and our vendor shows. So do take that little bit of advice. Get active on Facebook, and I don't mean spam people on Facebook, but put your business out there. Make a business page. There's lots of great advertising opportunities on Facebook, and try to get a little more active on Facebook if you aren't already. There's a lot of great vendor groups, small business groups there that you can join and have some good conversations. And again, thank you, and I'd love to meet you in person. So if you see me, say hi. Thanks a lot. And do remember, if I can do this, so can you. And this is my first video I've ever done, so that was a challenge too, and I did it. Yay, me. Thank you.